All right, let's talk about something we all have to deal with, right? Difficult people. It can be so frustrating, just totally draining. But what if the secret to handling these situations has almost nothing to do with them and everything to do with us?
I mean, seriously, who isn't? You know that feeling when someone's attitude or actions just get right under your skin? It messes with your whole day, and you're just left thinking, why does it have to be like this? It's a feeling we all know.
And this quote right here, this is the heart of it all. This simple idea is where all of our power is hiding. See, it's not about trying to change them. It's about learning to master our own response.
Okay, so let's really dive into what's going on here, the actual problem. Because before we can find a solution, we've got to understand what we're up against.
Yeah, I'm sure this list looks pretty familiar. It's the disrespect, right? Or when someone makes everything personal and just completely shatters your sense of peace. It is absolutely exhausting, and it throws us way off balance.
And here's the classic trap we all fall into. We get offended by their stuff, which is really just a symptom of their problems. We completely forget that the only thing we have any real control over in that moment is how we choose to see it.
Okay, now we get to the part that really flips this whole thing on its head. We always think the difficult person is the one on trial, but what if we've got the wrong defendant?
This separation is everything. Just look at these two columns. Their weird glitch, their actions, their words, that's all in their lane. But our perception, our patience, our own inner balance, well, that's 100% on us.
This completely reframes it, doesn't it? Their bad behavior. Think of it as just witness testimony. It's evidence being presented in a courtroom. But the real trial is for our behavior. How do we, the judge, react to that evidence? That's what really counts.
So this is where you get to train your own inner Jedi skills. Seriously. The moment you feel that rush of anger or frustration, that's the signal. That's your cue to look inward and find the exact spot where your patience is being tested. That's where the real training begins.
Now let's talk about a tricky psychological loop that keeps us stuck. Because believe it or not, we often play a huge role in creating these negative situations through something called a self-fulfilling prophecy.
We do this thing, you could call it a mental credit check. Before a person has even opened their mouth, we're already pulling up their file. You know, we're looking at their entire history of bad behavior, and we've already decided how this is going to go.
And this is exactly how that toxic cycle works. You go in expecting the worst, so you get all defensive and guarded. They pick up on that vibe and react to your attitude. And then, boom, your negative belief is confirmed. You basically helped create the very thing you were dreading.
This metaphor is just so perfect. Think about it. Are you putting out an ashtray, just waiting for them to mess up before they've even thought about lighting that metaphorical cigarette? Sometimes our expectation is the very thing inviting the behavior.
So how do we get out of this loop? Well, once you can see the cycle, you can break it. This is where you really start to take your power back and change the entire dynamic of the relationship.
So here it is, the new rule. It's simple, but it changes everything. Every time you interact with them, they are innocent until proven guilty in this specific moment. The past is irrelevant. No more mental credit checks.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, you have to consciously decide to suspend judgment. Forget their past. You treat this conversation like it's the first one you've ever had. Try to see the actual person behind their annoying glitch. And here's the key. Just observe what they're doing, like a scientist. Don't absorb it emotionally.
What this really boils down to is a total mindset shift. You're moving from being emotional to being analytical, from being judgmental to being tolerant, and maybe most importantly, from reacting to practicing a calm indifference. That indifference is what starves the negative cycle of its oxygen.
And when you can actually do this, when you break that cycle, the benefits are so much bigger than just having a less annoying conversation. The real reward is what happens inside you.
I mean, look at this payoff. You build more patience, not just for them, but for yourself. You find a deeper well of compassion. You create an inner balance that doesn't get rocked by other people's storms. And that is what real control feels like.
And at the end of the day, isn't this what we all want for ourselves? The chance to show up today and not be judged for all of our mistakes from yesterday? When we offer this grace to someone else, we're practicing the very same compassion we hope to get in return.
So,
I'll just leave you with this question to think about. The next time you find yourself in one of those tough situations, you've got a choice. You can focus on them and their flaws, or you can choose to focus on yourself and on mastering your own response. The choice is always yours.